Welcome to episode 43 of In the Lab. Today we're talking about how you don't have to be goofy to be different. Today I'm joined once again by the very handsome and debonair Jeph Maestra.
Don't hit on me during this show.
He's joined by me, I guess. But yeah.
Sick man.
Yeah. And today we're talking about something interesting to me because I tend to fancy myself a bit of an amateur stand-up comedian. People in the office can attest to that. But we're talking about in the context of business.
He tells jokes regularly.
They're bad. In the context of business, why... And we always tell people to be different, to be remarkable. It's sort of one of our big three tenets.
Yeah, be the purple cow, find your mustache, stand out, find your superpower, that kind of thing, yeah.
But why does... And we're kind of goofy people, I think, most of us. But why does being...
Ticket.
Thank you.
I give these out lots.
Why does being different not necessarily mean being goofy?
Well, I've wanted to get this off my chest for a while, so thank you for asking. But the reason is, I think people jump to the point, well, anything different is automatically goofy, which is not true. And when we give you a lottery ticket or a business card that has a really cool design on it, we're not saying this is what you should do. It's just an example of how we do it. But what I like to tell people about is there's other examples of companies out there that are completely different, but they're not goofy in any way. But for some reason, I think entrepreneurs and CEO, the business types, they automatically jump to goofy when you hear that companies are different. And from the book Mavericks at Work, Bill Taylor talks about ING Direct when they were first starting out. ING, the big orange company, they wanted to be different than all the other banks, which isn't silly or goofy. That's just smart business. And their whole thing was they didn't want anybody over that had more than $1 million, and they didn't want to offer credit cards. Their whole purpose was to save you money, not to make any money off that. They thought they would make money off loyalty. So it was being different in a purposeful way. And that's not goofy or silly, it's just smart business. So then Whole Foods is another one. It's a grocery chain. They're completely different by the way they run their staff. So internal policies, that's not goofy, that's just actually caring about your staff. So if you are hired at Whole Foods, after 3 months, you're not your manager, the people around you get to vote you in, like Survivor, you get to stay or not. Some other cool things like the CEO can never make more than, I think it's 17 times the lowest paid employee. So stuff like that isn't goofy at all, it's smart business. So when you start getting to these examples, the other ones like WestJet, the Southwest Airlines, yes, Southwest Airlines, Herb Kelleher and his wild turkey stories are a little bit goofy. They're an airline, they stand out. But what you find is the more different you can become, that's what you get known for. And nowadays, when there's so many businesses and so many opportunities, so many different options, the only way you can stand out is to figure out what everyone else is doing and go the opposite way.
Now, but being goofy can help you if you're in the right industry and in the right market. I think it helps us a lot. So I think to say...
Sure.
I mean, you don't always have to be goofy, but sometimes you can be, I think. And sometimes it can help. I think you can be funny and witty. I mean, well,
it's a fine line between, I think, goofy and absurd or... But to me, I have as much fun as you want. So we're talking social media-wise.
Yeah.
There is no line. You can have as much fun as you want because to me it shows you're a human being and you actually laugh. Today, a perfect example, we were doing a social session with Capital and we had a competition with Instagram. Sadly to say, my team lost. But the other team actually found a really good photo of a guy in the shop and they actually had this funny photo about getting their arm cut off because they had to pay an arm and a leg.
Can we put it up?
Yeah, the photo will be...
Yay! Excellent.
It blew up in my eye.
Nice.
But what we found, like that got people engaged. It was only 15 minutes and we actually got a really good piece of content out of there. So maybe a part of it is, and again now the management has let go of control of that, but a part of that really, if you're the CEO, do you really want to manage or micromanage everything that goes out there? And to me it's, think about the Regina Police Service, when they blew up online, it was because Kylie was allowed to be herself, to actually build a personality. Yes, sometimes it was a little goofy, but those ones made it to the front page of Reddit, but her following, it grew by 12,000 people in a year. Like, that's unheard of. I haven't heard of an account that's gone that big. So yes, I think you can do it, but more so for the average person, you don't have to be goofy. What we're trying to do is to get you to promise something. Every time you work with somebody, what is your promise? What are some things that you will always do, or conversely, what are some things that you will never ever do? That to me is what branding is.
And Jeph, what do you think, what other things do we do internally to be different that aren't goofy at Strategy Lab, do you think?
That aren't goofy.
Yeah.
We will always answer our phone, no matter what. That's one of the biggest things. No matter if you're on a vacation, we always have a running joke that if we go on vacation, we always laugh about those little autoresponders. Because really, all it's saying is, I got your email, I looked at it now, but I'll also look at it when I get back, when I'm actually going to answer it. Just answer the email. Like, it's not hard. Take an extra week on vacation then. But the little things, to me, that's the biggest deal. When you come into the office, you should be offered a drink. You should be offered something. That's just a smart thing to do. When you're out with somebody, especially for a meeting, try to buy them something. Now, every now and then someone's going to want to buy you a coffee, cool. But more importantly, I think if you're going to go take someone out, I would want the Strategy Lab aura to be the generosity. Everything part of what we do is generous.
Right.
There is still goofy things though, like the whole if you pay within 7 days, we deliver cupcakes, or the t-shirts and the posters and the stickers. But it's the whole package of just trying to care a little bit more and try to do something just a little bit differently. It's not goofy to me, and on most of these things, and look at Hugh's, a lot of his business, like our business cards and some of the artwork we have around the office, yeah, it can be goofy, but more importantly, it gets talked about. So if you're in business and if it is goofy, but if it gets talked about, I'm sorry, I'm going to reside in the camp of, if it's remarkable, people are going to talk about it, that is going to help my business out a lot more than a professional brand or something that just looks really, really clean and simple. It might look good, but if nobody talks about it, you're dead in the water.
Fair enough. Well, thank you so much for having me back on.
Hey, thanks for having me on your show.
Literally anytime.
Literally. Do you have a sign-off? You can pick your own.
I'm going to stick with yours for now. I'll come up with one for next week.
The stand-up comedian himself.
Yeah. Peace be to Journey.